Fake news and how to spot it. In 1903, in West Virginia in the US, the Clarksburg Daily Telegram was convinced that a rival newspaper, the Clarksburg Daily News, was stealing its stories. Knowing that if they accused them openly it would just be one person's word against another, they decided to get some proof. So they published a fake news story as a trap. The story was about an attack on a man named Meshk Schweinkefew, a man living in the town who was reported to have been in an argument about a pet dog. The argument turned into a fight, and Schweinkefew was badly injured. Sure enough, the next day the same story appeared in the Daily News. The name featured in the story, Schweinkefew, spelled "we fake news" backwards, and the Daily News was forced to admit that it had been stealing articles. Fast forward 100 years or so, and the term fake news has entered everyday language. But as this story indicates, made-up stories and disinformation have been around for centuries. We can break down this phenomenon into several main categories based on the level of intent to mislead and the purpose in doing so. The first is intentional and has the purpose of convincing people of an idea to gain their support and, in doing so, power and influence. It involves building a false narrative by feeding people a constant drip of disinformation that takes root in their minds. Unfortunately, it is true that if you repeat a lie often enough, people will believe you. Many of the conspiracy theories that circulate on the internet belong to this category. For example, the ones that say people never landed on the moon. The second and equally harmful type of fake news is information used to trick people into buying something. It may take the form of a scientific report, saying, for example, that certain foods or vitamins improve life expectancy, or that diet pills are completely safe. Or it could involve posting fake reviews of a product to influence a purchasing decision. Unfortunately, we are often quick to take a person's word for something if it confirms what we want to hear, especially when it comes from an official or scientific-sounding source. A third type of fake news is stories put out there to catch our attention or amuse us. How to tell what someone is thinking just from their body language. Woman accidentally joins rescue group looking for her in the mountains. Or, bear chases group of wildlife photographers. This last story was an internet prank based on a photoshopped image created by the photographers themselves. The other two stories are examples of clickbait, stories intended to make us click through to advertisements on another page. Harmless, you may think, but this is nevertheless a kind of manipulation. Lastly, there is unintentional fake news. False information that arises because the writer either didn't have time or couldn't be bothered to check the facts. This could be harmless, but it could also cause serious problems. With AI-generated articles and images on the rise, spotting fake news has become increasingly difficult. However, there are some good habits we can learn to help us identify it. Identify what kind of story you are reading. Is it a factual piece, an opinion piece, or a humorous piece? Ask yourself why the story has been written. Who is the writer and what expertise do they have? Are they trying to push a particular opinion or narrative? Question your own emotional reaction to the story. Are your own views and biases influencing how you read the story? Think about the other side of the story. Does the article take account of this? Check the facts. Where did the article first appear? Does it refer to real data? Does it give the sources for this data? Are the images real? It's especially important to check if you plan to use or repeat the information. By getting into these habits, we can train ourselves to notice fake news and develop the critical mindset that will protect us from its harmful effects.